Okay, hello students. So today we have started the new lesson. We have completed the classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Next we are learning about the new chapter, that is the hydrogen. So in the classification of elements, just we have learned about the how to classify the elements that we have learned here. Here also in the hydrogen chapter, so we are learning about the properties, reaction and position of the hydrogen here. So first we will discuss about the hydrogen. So already you know that the hydrogen, the atomic number is 1 and the electronic configuration is 1s1 here. So the hydrogen is having the 1 proton and 1 electron. So hydrogen is having what? 1 proton and 1 electron and present as a diatomic molecule. So here the hydrogen is having what? Only 1 proton. Already in the classification of elements I had explained that one. The hydrogen is containing the only, that is, it is having the only 1 proton and 1 electron. Next one, they exist as a diatomic molecule. What is the meaning of diatomic molecule? Means here, if they are present like this H2, if they are presenting Cl2, we are calling it a diatomic molecule. Next one, O2, we are calling it as a diatomic molecule. We are calling it as a dioxygen, dichlorine, or dihydrogen. We are also calling it as a dihydrogen. So the hydrogen is always present in the form of what? Diatomic molecule. We cannot get the hydrogen. So we are getting the hydrogen in the form of what? H2. That is, we are calling it as a diatomic molecules. So next one is what? That is the position of hydrogen in the periodic table. This one concept I already had explained briefly in the classification of elements here. What I had explained that one there here means, so why we have to keep the hydrogen above the periodic table. Suppose here, consider here group first elements are coming, here group 17 elements are coming here. We are placing the hydrogen at the top of the periodic table. So why we are keeping this hydrogen in the top of the periodic table here means, why they are, some of the periodic table they are given here in the above the group first elements, they are given the hydrogen. In our new periodic table, so they are giving in the NCERT book, so you can see that one, that is the hydrogen is placed above the periodic table here. Then the question arises, why this is the only element they are placed in the above the periodic table here? That question arises here. Why? Because means the hydrogen, it is having the similar property with the group first elements, and also it shows the similar property with the group 17 elements. This hydrogen is one of the element, it shows the similarity with the group first elements and also with the group 17 elements here. So what are the group first, what are the similarities between the hydrogen and the group first elements are there here, sir? Means, that is, I had written here the resembles with the alkali metals. The group first elements we are calling it is what? Alkali metals. The group second we are calling it as alkaline earth metal, and the group 17 is called as a halogen family. We are calling it as what? Halogen family here. So first I will discuss about the resembles with the alkali metals. What are the similarities are there? The alkali metal and hydrogen, what are the similarities between the alkali metal and hydrogen here? Here what happens when you see here, the first point, one electron is in its outermost shell. Suppose if you are writing the electronic configuration of hydrogen, then what it becomes? It will be 1s1. Why? So it is having the only one, atomic number is 1 is there, so it is having only one electron, so the electronic configuration will be 1s1 here. Suppose you are observing here means, so the group first elements, they are having the only one electron in its outermost shell. The hydrogen also having the one electron in its outermost shell. Suppose if you are taking the lithium, what is the lithium is there? So I will write down here, for 1s1 is there, electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is what? 1s1 here. So it is having the last outermost shell, it is having a what? 1 electron here. Next, alkali metals which are there coming here, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So first I will explain about the lithium. Okay. So this in the lithium, what happens that its atomic number is 3. Lithium atomic number is what? 3. Suppose you are writing the electronic configuration 1s2 2s1. 1s2 2s1 here. Next, suppose you are writing the sodium, atomic number is 11. Then what you are writing? 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. How much it becomes? This becomes 10 plus 1 11. So the outermost, what I had written, 1 electron in its outermost shell. Suppose the lithium is also having the 1 electron in its outermost shell, sodium is also having the 1 electron in its outermost shell, and this hydrogen is also having the 1 electron in its outermost shell. So this is the similarity between the what? Hydrogen and alkali metals. The similarity between the hydrogen and alkali metals. The first point is there. Next one, you are saying tendency to lose 1 electron to change into H minus ion. Sorry, here you have to write on H plus ions. So tendency to lose 1 electron to change into H plus ions here. H plus ions means what? If you taking the hydrogen, so hydrogen when it loses 1 electron, then it becomes what? H plus here. So this alkali metals, what are the alkali metals are there? Lithium, sodium. Lithium also, when it loses the 1 electron, then what happens? Then it becomes Li plus 1 electron. Hydrogen also loses 1 electron, then what happens? The hydrogen when it loses the electron, then what happens? It becomes H plus 1 electron it will give. Suppose if you are taking the sodium is also becomes Na plus by losing an electron here. So if you seeing here Na plus, Li plus, and this is the H plus, they are having what? By losing an electron, they are become the changes into what? They are having the electropositive. That is what? H plus, Li plus, Na plus. This is the what? Resembles or similarity with the alkali metals here. Next one, what are the differences there? Difference is also there in the between the hydrogen and alkali metals. What are the difference are there, sir? Here means, so I will the first one is what? High ionization enthalpy. The hydrogen and between the alkali metals, they are having the high ionization enthalpy. So the ionization enthalpy will be what? Already you studied in the classification of elements that the ionization enthalpy will be, it will be what? It will be decreases from the top to bottom. Okay, so because of that reason, the ionization enthalpy is high is there between the hydrogen alkali metals. Next is the point where the size of the H plus ions are extremely small as it contains only 1 protons. Suppose if you are taking the hydrogen, 1s1 is there, so it contains only 1 proton. Suppose you are taking the lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, compared to these elements when you are comparing with the hydrogen, so hydrogen is having the small size. The hydrogen is having what? Small size. These are the 2 points about the what? Difference between the alkali metal and hydrogen. These are the another 2 points that telling that they are having the resemblance with the hydrogens here. So now we have concluded that is the group first elements having the similarity. So it resembles the hydrogen. So next one, that is the group 17 elements. The hydrogen, it also play it is also having the similarity with the that is the group 17 elements. So we are calling it as a halogen group. First we will study about the resemblance with the halogen. So what are the resemblance are there here means, resemblance with the halogen here means, so that is the first point is there, 1 electron is short to the next noble gas electronic configuration. 1 electron is short is there here. So suppose I am writing the hydrogen, 1s1 is there, the electronic configuration. If you are adding another electron here, when you are adding the another electron to the hydrogen, then it becomes what? Helium. Why it becomes helium? The electronic configuration is what? 1s2. The helium, it is having the 2 electrons, the hydrogen is having the 1 electron. So when you are adding the one electron to the hydrogen, so it becomes the noble gas electronic configuration. It becomes what? Noble gas electronic configuration. And this halogen groups, they also requires one electron to fulfill the noble gas electronic configuration. How here means, example, fluorine is there. Fluorine. So it is also requires at how many electrons? It requires only one electron to become the noble gas electronic configuration. That is, the fluorine is having the 9. Atomic number is 9 is there. So it requires one electron to become the noble gas electronic configuration. Next, Cl, chlorine. This also requires what? One electron to complete their noble gas electronic configuration. So these halogen groups, already you studied the halogen groups, they requires one electron to complete their noble gas electronic configuration here. That is the first similarity with the hydrogen, and this is the group 17 elements here. Next one, tendency to gain one electron and changes into H minus ions. Already you know that the hydrogen, it also loses the one electron and also gains the one electron here. So when the hydrogen gains an electron, so it becomes the H minus ion. H minus ion here. And also these group 17 elements, they also tendency to gain one electron and changes into ions. How here means, the first one is Cl is there. When the Cl, when it gains the electron, then it becomes what? Cl minus. Fluorine, example. Fluorine, when it gains an electron, it becomes the fluorine ion, F minus. So here what happens? The electron, when the adding of electron is taking place, they becomes the anion. That is electronegative nature. So that is what? The resembles with the hydrogen resembles with what? Group 17 elements. These are the 2 points are there. Next one is what? Exists as a diatomic molecule. Diatomic molecule means, that is, the hydrogen is exist in the form of what? That is the H2. The fluorine also exists in the form of F2. Next, Cl2, Br2. These are what? Group 17 elements. The hydrogen and the group 17 elements, they also exist in the form of what? Diatomic molecule. That is the 2 is there here. So we are going to say they exist as a what? Diatomic molecules. So that is the what? Third point is there. Next point is what? The difference from the halogen. What are the differences there here means? The first one you will discuss is the electron gain enthalpy is smaller than the halogen. The electron gain enthalpy, what happens here? It is smaller than the halogen. Hydrogen is having the smaller electron gain enthalpy than the halogen here. Next one, second point, forms stable hydrates only with the highly electropositive metals. So what happens here? Hydrogen is having the difference between, it is having the difference with the group 17 elements. What is the difference is there, sir? Here means, suppose when the hydrogen combines with the sodium metal, then what happens? It forms the sodium hydride, NaH. Sodium hydride. So when it is forming the sodium hydride, they are very stable here. When you are considering the sodium hydride, so it is more stable. That is written here. It forms the stable hydrides only with the what? Highly electropositive metal. Highly electropositive metal. So the hydrogen is only having the capacity to form the highly stable hydrides with only what? That is the alkali metals, not with the, that is the group 17 elements here. That is about what? The resemblance and difference between the halogens here. So this is about what? Because of that reason, it is having the similarity with the group 17 elements and also similarity with the what? Group first elements. So because of that reason, so we are keeping the hydrogen in the above the periodic table. So this is about what? The position of hydrogen in the periodic table. Okay, students. The next concept is what? That is the occurrence here. occurrence. So how the hydrogen is present here means the hydrogen, so it is present in the form of combined states here. So we are large amount of hydrogen compounds are we are using here. So what are that one here means the mainly is the water. The hydrogen present in the form of what? Water. That is H2O we are writing here. And also it is present in the form of hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons means petrol, diesel, carbohydrates. You can all the whatever the compounds we are getting now. That is it is made up of what? Hydrogen. That is that they are given the hydrocarbon. They are present in the form of combined state here. So the hydrogen, so it is having the 70% of universe. It contains 70% of universe volume here. So next one is the isotopes of hydrogens here. What are the isotopes are there here means? So we will study it one by one. The first one is what? Protium. Already you know that what is the meaning of isotopes. Isotope means what? They are having the same atomic number. They are having the same atomic number but different mass number. They are having the different mass number. So that one we are calling it as a isotopes. So here the first one is what? Protium here. The protium, so it is most abundant in nature. What is the meaning of sir? Most abundant in nature here means, so it is present in the large quantity when compared to the other two. So it is present in the large quantity. So it is we are writing it as it is most abundant in nature here. Next one is it contains one proton and it contains what? One proton and no neutrons here. So it contains what? Only one proton. So it is not having the neutrons. It is not having the neutrons here. So next one is what? That is the deuterium here. The deuterium, so it is we are calling it as a deuterium. It is represented by what? Capital D. So in this one what happens? The compound of it contains what? Heavy water. D2O we are calling. We are calling this what? D2O. So D2O it is called as a heavy water. This heavy water is used in the nuclear reactor as a coolant here. So we are calling it as a heavy water here. And it contains one proton and one neutron. So the protium what happens? It is not having any neutrons. So but in the case of deuterium, so it is having the one proton and one neutron here. Next one is that is the tritium. It is represented by capital T. So it is radioactive in nature here. So when it is, this is the only the isotope in the hydrogen. So it is in the form of what? Radioactive in nature here. And next one, it contains one proton and two neutrons. So here no neutron is there. Here one neutron. Here two neutrons here. So this is about what? That is the isotopes of what? Hydrogen. So next we will study about the that is the preparation of hydrogen. Preparation of hydrogen here. We are preparing the hydrogen in the two scales. So what are the is there here means? So we are also producing in the laboratory and also in the form of commercial. Commercial means they are producing in the large quantity. Laboratory means so they are producing in a small quantity here. So the first we will discuss about the that is the laboratory methods. Laboratory methods. One is the laboratory method, another is the commercial method here. First we will discuss about the laboratory method. So in the laboratory method means so we are producing the hydrogen in this small quantity. How we are producing here means first I will write on the first one is what? When sorry, it is generally prepared when it is generally prepared. So sorry, I will write on it as a when hydrogen when hydrogen reacts with, sorry, when zinc reacts with, when the zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid, hydrochloric acid, it produces it it produces hydrogen. It produces hydrogen. So here what happens when the zinc reacts with hydrochloric acids, so it produces the hydrogen here. So how here means when the zinc it reacts with hydrochloric acid, 2HCl. Zinc when react with the treated with the or reacted with the hydrochloric acid, then what happens? It will give the zinc chloride, ZnCl2, zinc chloride plus H2. So while writing the reaction, just you have to keep it in your mind that, so whatever the reactant side they are coming now, how many elements are there, that atoms are there, that much should be there in the product side here. So Zn, only one Zn is there here, also I will use the one Zn. So 2HCl is there, means 2 hydrogen and 2 chlorine is there. I have written here 2 chlorine and 2 hydrogen. So this is the way of balancing the reactions here. So that is what in the laboratory method how we are preparing here means when the zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid, it produces the hydrogen. That is the reaction is Zn plus 2HCl. So the arrow mark ZnCl2 plus H2. This is the first method is there. Next, second one is there here means when zinc reacts with sodium hydroxide, when zinc reacts with the sodium hydroxide, it produces hydrogen. So what happens here when the zinc reacts with sodium hydroxide, it produces what? Hydrogen. So how it will produce here means, so I will write on the reaction Zn plus 2NaOH. We are calling it as a sodium hydroxide. When the zinc treated or reacts with the sodium hydroxide, then what happens? It forms the sodium zincate. It forms what? Sodium zincate plus H2. We are calling it as a what? Sodium zincate. So that is Zn only. So now check whether it is balanced or not. Zn. So here also owing one Zn here. Next one, 2Na is there. 2Na is there here, the product side. Next one, 2 oxygens are there. Here 2 oxygens are there. Next, 2 hydrogen are written here, 2 hydrogen. So this is the two methods, laboratory methods for the preparation of what? Hydrogen. Here students, that is the next concept is what? There is the commercial method. We have studied that is the laboratory method here. Commercial method means so they are producing in a large quantity here. So what is the first one is there, sir? Method is there here means electrolysis of acidified water. Electrolysis of acidified water by using platinum electrode. By using platinum electrode. So what you are doing here means they are doing the electrolysis process by using that is what they are acidifying that is the acidified water here. How they are doing the electrolysis here means that is they are taking the acidified water. What they are doing, they are keeping the two electrodes, that is the platinum electrode I have written here. When the electrolysis starts, so then what happens, it starts, that is it's giving the hydrogens here. How it is means here means, so I will write on the reaction, that is the 2H2O, that is what acidified water is, that is acidified water. When the electrolysis takes place, then what happens, it splits into 2H2 plus O2. 2H2 plus O2 here. So you can see here how to balance this one. So how many hydrogens are there here? 4 hydrogens are there. Here also 4 hydrogens. 2 oxygens are there. Here also 2 oxygens. So now it is a balanced reaction here. So when the electrolysis is taking place, that is when you are using the acidified water by using a platinum electrode. So acidified means what, sir, here means, so that is somewhat it is acidic here. The acid is added there. So that when the acidified water they are doing the electrolysis, what happens? Then it produces the hydrogen and also it produces what? Oxygen. So this method is commercially we are preparing here, but it requires what? Current to prepare what? High voltage current to prepare the hydrogen gas here. Next one is, we are also getting the second method is what? Dihydrogen it is produced in the manufacture of what? Sodium hydroxide. Dihydrogen is produced as a byproduct of dihydrogen as a byproduct of manufacture of sodium hydroxide, that is the we are writing it NaOH. Dihydrogen is also produced as a byproduct in the manufacture of what? Sodium hydroxide. So when we are preparing the sodium hydroxide, at the time what happens, we are getting it as a byproduct. Byproduct here means what? So while preparing, when you are preparing the NaOH, so you are so getting the small amount of what? Hydrogen here. So how they are getting here means, so that is I will write on here. Also what happens, 2 electrodes are there. So while preparing the NaOH, so what happens at the anode, what happens here, that is the 2Cl minus, that is the chlorine ions. So in the anode what happens, one of them is the anode, another one is the cathode. There we are in the preparation of manufacture of what? NaOH. So there what happens, the 2Cl minus, it converts to Cl2 plus, it gives the 2 electron. This is the process is taking place at the anode here. Next one is at cathode. At the cathode what happens, the water molecules 2H2O, so when it gains the electrons, 2 electrons, that is here left, no, these 2 electrons is gained by the water. So then it produces what? That is, it produces the it produces the H2 plus 2OH minus. H2 plus 2OH minus. So now balance this one. Here 4 hydrogens are there. Here 2 and here 2. That is balanced here. Next one. How many oxygen atoms are there here? 2 oxygen atoms here. Here also 2 oxygen atoms are there. So this is what? That is a balanced reaction is there. So in the cathode what happens? There is the water. It gains the 2 electrons that is left from the chlorine and gains that one and becomes the hydrogen gas. It liberates the hydrogen gas and 2 OH minus here. At the cathode what happens? The hydrogen gas is released here. So this is about what? That is in the manufacture of sodium hydroxide we are also getting the hydrogen here. Suppose you are writing the overall reaction. I will write one here. Overall reaction. So what happening in the overall reaction when you are combining this these two reactions here means that is you are getting the 2 NaCl plus 2H2O. So it will gives Cl2 plus H2 plus 2NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So when you see here having got how many sodium atoms are there here? 2. Here also 2. Balanced. Next 2 chlorine is there. Here also 2 chlorine. Okay, balanced. Next one, 4 hydrogens are there. How many hydrogens are written here? Here 4 is there. Here 2 plus here 2. Balanced. Next one, 2 oxygen atoms are there. Here also 2 oxygen atoms are there. This is the balanced reaction. When we are preparing the sodium hydroxide, we are getting the hydrogen as a byproduct here. So when the sodium chloride it treated with the water, so it will give the chlorine and also gives the hydrogen and it gives the sodium hydroxide. So this is what? The dihydrogen as a byproduct in the manufacture of what? Dihydrogen as a byproduct in the manufacture of manufacture of sodium hydroxide, that is we are going to say NaOH. This is what? The second method here. Now we can also produce it by the what? Hydrocarbons. The third method we will study it. By what? Hydrocarbon. By hydrocarbon. So by the hydrocarbons, that is example is what? Hydrocarbons. So we are using the methane gas, that is also made up of what? Hydrogen and carbon here. So by using the hydrocarbons also we can also prepare the, that is the hydrogen gas we can also prepare here. How here means that is, so first I will take the methane when treated with methane when treated with steam at 1270 Kelvin 1270 Kelvin in the presence of what? Nickel catalyst. In the presence of what? Nickel catalyst gives hydrogen. Gives what? Hydrogen. Gives what? Hydrogen here. So here what happens? The methane when treated with the steam. Steam means what? That is the water at a high temperature. So we also know about the steam here. Steam. So when the methane is treated with the steam at 1270, that is a 1270 Kelvin, in the presence of what? Nickel catalyst. So it will give the hydrogen here. So that is, I will write on here it as a CH4. We are calling it as a methane. Methane when reacts with water, in the presence of what? At temperature what? 1270 Kelvin, and in the presence of what? Nickel catalyst. So what it will give? So it will give the, that is what? How many hydrogens are there here? That is the CO 6 hydrogen, 3H2. Now check whether this reaction is balanced or not here. C, carbon, only one is there. Here also I written 1. Hydrogen, here 4 plus 2, 6. 3 into 2, 6. 6 hydrogens completed. Next one, 1 oxygen. So here 1 oxygen is there. So when the methane gas, it reacts with the steam. Steam means of water at a high temperature. So that is, then it reacts with the steam at 1270, that is 1270 Kelvin, and in the presence of what? Nickel catalyst. So it will use the carbon monoxide, and also it produces what? Hydrogen gas. The mixture of this mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas, we are calling it as a water gas. We are all calling it what? Water gas. Or it is also called as a syngas. It is also called as a syngas. Otherwise, synthesis gas. The mixture of CO and 3H2, we are calling it a what? That is a water gas or syngas. So like that, we are producing the, that is what? Hydrogen gas by using the hydrocarbons. That is a methane here. Next one is what? We are, by using the hydrocarbon also, we can produce the this hydrogen gas, and also we can produce it by the coal. Next one is what? By coal. By coal. By using the coal also we can produce the, there is the hydrogen. How here means, coal when treated with the coal when treated with the steam at 1270 Kelvin, it gives what? It gives, when it treated with the steam at 1270 Kelvin, it gives hydrogen. It gives what? Hydrogen. So I will write on the reaction. Coal means you have to take a carbon. It contains a carbon. So carbon when reacts with the steam at 1270, that is the 1270 Kelvin. So it will, what it will give? So it will give the carbon monoxide plus hydrogen. Carbon monoxide plus what? Hydrogen here. So this is also calling it as a, we are, what we are calling it as a water gas or syngas. This reaction, we are also coal gasification reaction. This reaction is also called what? Coal gasification reaction. So we are calling it as a coal gasification reaction means, so by using the coal, so we are producing the water gas or syngas. So because of that, the reaction is also called as a coal gasification. Next one, we are getting the CO plus H2. We can also increase the yield of hydrogen. How we can increase, sir? Here means by using what? By again this CO is then a carbon monoxide. when this carbon monoxide, when again it treated with the H2O, that is the steam, when is again is treated with the steam. Okay, I will write on here steam. Steam, here also steam is there. So when this carbon monoxide again treated with the steam, then what happens? At 673 Kelvin, in the presence of iron chromate as a catalyst, iron chromate as a catalyst, then what it will gives? The presence of, at 673 Kelvin and in the presence of iron chromate, so this becomes, it yield the carbon dioxide plus H2, carbon dioxide plus H2. So by using whatever you are getting at the first reaction, whatever you are getting now, carbon monoxide, when this you are taking the carbon monoxide, again it treated with the steam, then what happens? At 673 Kelvin and in the presence of iron chromate, so it will give the carbon dioxide and hydrogen. So this is what we have to increase the yield of hydrogen by treating that carbon monoxide again with the steam. We are in the present at 673 Kelvin and in the presence of what? Iron chromate, so it gives the another H2, that is the hydrogen here. So this is what the that is the commercial method of preparation of hydrogen gas here.